to a Visigoth called Alaric. He was only 25 at the time, but the new chief of the Visigoths, who was settled within the eastern Roman province of Moesia as foederati. Basically barbarians that were allowed to live in the Roman Empire in exchange for serving in the army and thus protecting the empire's frontiers. Alaric kind of hated the Eastern Empire because they used Goths as cannon fodder. With they, I mean Emperor Theodosius of the United Roman Empire. You know, the guy who Steph in 395 marked the division of the empire. Now, Alaric wasn't a fan of pretty much being a mistreated Roman vassal, not an independent king for his people, or at least one under better terms. So he began his rampage, marching on Constantinople, thankfully being defeated, then devastating Greece, during which he even sacked Athens' port and ravaged other cities like Sparta. How was he stopped? For that, we need to travel to Illyricum. Now, Illyricum was actually a dispute between the Eastern and Western Empire. It belonged to the West, until the West handed it over around 380 to help the East with an earlier war against the Goths. Illyricum was the Roman province providing the most soldiers. The West now wanted it back, but the East rejected that. In 395, the West under Stilicho actually sent troops to assist against Alaric officially. But in reality, Stilicho wanted Illyricum back, so the Eastern Empire sent him back home because they hadn't asked for help, or rather, an invasion. 2 years later, he would try again landing in southern Greece under the pretense of fighting Alaric. He did so, defeated the Goths, but decided not to finish them off. He was then declared public enemy #1 by the East and had to return to the West. Now, because Stilicho didn't finish the job, the Eastern Empire had to stop the Goths somehow, who were chilling in Epirus, so roughly modern Albania and parts of Greece. So that means, in 398, the Eastern Emperor placated Alaric and his Goths, making him the Magister Militum of Illyricum. Crisis averted, right?